Alright guys, this video is brought to you by www.nintendorepairshop.com. Our store specializes in pretty much everything you could ever need from a Nintendo repair standpoint. We also offer a number of different Nintendo accessories for NES, SNES, N64, GameCube, all the way up through the Nintendo Wii. So feel free to check out our website. Some of the products we're going to be walking you through today are items we get a lot of questions on. Specifically, we're walking you through a comparison of the original controller for the NES, SNES, and N64 systems compared to an exact replica controller that we've started selling. And we're just going to give you the different, reviews that we've heard from our customers and help inform you so you can make a better decision on what kind of controller you want to buy. So, for starters, we're going to walk through the original Nintendo controller. And this controller, as with pretty much all three of the controllers that we're comparing today, first off, you can see the original controller and the replica look almost identical. Aside from some minor color variations on the replica, it looks and feels and even responds in a very, very similar manner to the original. The only difference here is that the original itself is about 25 years old, and in our opinion, anything that's over 25 years old, you eventually are going to have it break down on you, whereas one of these newly manufactured items are bound to last you a much longer period of time in good condition. So, highly recommend using the replica for the NES as a cheaper alternative and one that hopefully will last you longer than the original controller. Moving on to the Super Nintendo controller, we'll again put the original up top and give you a comparison of the newly manufactured one below. And again, in this comparison, very similar to the NES controller. One of the main differences is that on all of these replica controllers, you're not going to get the branding. But if you can do without the branding, you can see that the colors and the buttons are almost identical, as is the look and feel, which is really, obviously, of utmost importance to a real avid gamer. You're going to want it to respond in an extremely similar manner to what you've been used to your whole life. And in this case, we also feel that the Super Nintendo controller, the exact replica, is a really good option to go with for something that's a little cheaper, more readily available, and something that will probably last you longer, because again, this controller is itself going on about 15 to 20 years of age. Alright, moving on to the Nintendo 64. Of the three that we're comparing today, the Nintendo 64 is the one that we would say more strongly than the others. You just really can't replicate the original perfectly, and the main reason for that is the thumbstick. The original N64 thumbstick is going to be much more responsive than pretty much any replacement N64 controller we've ever seen. That's one of the reasons why these are so popular. But other than the thumbstick on the replica being slightly, it's actually more responsive, which is kind of a problem than the original. Because in games like 007 or racing games where you need precise control, you want something that responds smoothly throughout. These are a little bit more quick to respond and sometimes a little jerkier, so sometimes people have problems with that. But other than those kinds of games, it's a great replacement controller. It looks and feels exactly like it. It's one we do highly recommend. We just prefer the original in this case. So hopefully these videos are helpful to you guys, and for those of you out there that are trying to make a decision on which controller to buy. As always, we've got a lot of information, a lot of really good information on our website, www.nintendorepairshop.com. You can purchase all these items that you've seen here today on that site, and you can also contact us if you have any questions via phone or email. So thanks for viewing today, guys, and we hope to hear and see you soon on our site.